Welcome to another Friday live video. Well, actually, it's not Friday at all, it's Wednesday. God, what a good start. So today, guys, we are going to look at social media a little bit, and I have a couple of accounts that I want to look at on Instagram to basically kind of analyze a few reels and show you each of them belongs in a certain category of content, which I'll explain in a second, and why they work. And I've tried to pick things that aren't too hard to replicate for yourself, so that you can kind of look and either understand the strategy or also get some ideas for your own reels as well. So basically, I went down the reels rabbit hole, the Instagram rabbit hole, to cherry pick some for you. We've done that in the past, and I know you guys have really liked it. I think that it's kind of like, it's a nice and easy session. It's kind of fun to look at what other people are doing, but I also encourage you to, when I'm showing you a reel, ask yourself, okay, how can I apply this to my business, to my products? And then of course, if you have some questions, comment in the chat and let me know, and we can maybe jam a bit about that as well. And before I actually dive in, quick tech check. I think I'm live. I can see some of you guys have joined already. If you can comment below wherever you're watching, let me know where you are and what you sell. That will A, show me that you can actually hear me, and B, be super helpful as I maybe find examples to help you use those reels in your business as well. So I'll let you comment below, and in the meantime, I'm going to take 5 seconds to just share my screen and organize a few things. So we've got 2 brands that we're going to look at. Actually, let me explain the overall strategy. So, hey Jess, so nice to see you. Hello. Oh, I'm so pleased you're here. And Jess, you will know that Jess was in our program, so she very much knows my bucket strategy. But basically, when it comes to organic content, and I'm speaking to Instagram right now, but it's true on all platforms, you want to look at 3 main buckets of content. And these are not like content themes per se. It's not about posting about nature and posting about jewelry. It's about posting for a goal and with a goal in mind. The first bucket is, hey, Kat. Hey, Kat, so nice to see you. Hey, Kat says hi to Jess. Okay, I thought you were tagging me there. Hey, so good to see you ladies here. Hey, Vespa. Okay, so bucket 1 is the bucket that you want to use for content that helps you basically get more reach and visibility and grow your audience. So this is content that's going to call out and call in the people that are the right fit for your brand. And the reason this content is good for visibility is that we create it with the goal of getting engagement on that content. We're not creating it to get sales. We're not creating it to get email subscribers or anything like that. It's really about getting likes, getting it to be saved, getting it to be shared from, between people, and commented on to a degree, but mostly liked, shared, and saved, so that it signals to the algorithm, hey, this piece of content is doing well. Let's show it to non-followers and basically to people who have never been exposed to your products and brand before. So that first bucket is really about building your audience. We're not going for sales, we're going for engagement. And we need to do it in the way that the people who engage on the post are your actual ideal customers, and not just, posting a good quote or a good joke that everyone could like, because then that's going to be too broad. We need to kind of have content that's niche enough to attract the right people and make the right people engage. Hey, Cindy. Oh, in Perth. Hello, Australia. I think we're the only 2 probably, in Australia at the moment, but well, that I can see anyway in the chat right now. Okay, bucket 2 is where we actually convert to sales or email subscribers. So once we've attracted more people to our audience, to our followers, to basically, our world, we want to turn them into customers or to email subscribers. This is content that sells, and that's going to be focused on call to actions that are going to drive people to your store, or to comment a keyword, to get a link to your store, to get a link to your email list, or many chats. The software here very helpful to automate these things. And then bucket 3 is where we nurture. So nurture bucket has kind of like 2 roles. The first one is nurturing existing customer and existing followers into the community, and so that they basically want to reorder from you. And it also helps those people who are a little bit on, they haven't quite decided whether they're going to buy from you or not. They haven't quite converted. that content, the nurture content, is going to build trust and rapport and relatability so that they like your brand more and feel like they can trust you more and eventually make a purchase. So bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3. Now, there's lots of different subcategories in these buckets. I'm not going to go over all of that today because we will be here for the whole day. But what I wanted to do is pick 2 brands. That's 4, just one hand. 2 brands, and for each brand, kind of handpick posts from each bucket and show you what these posts are well done, or if there's something I would change, I'd also point that out. So the first brand we're going to look at is called Eden May. And actually, I don't think Nicola is in the chat right now, but Nicola, who's currently in our program, shared with me an example from her last week, I think. And then I started following her and kind of been obsessing over this brand. And so I'm using it as an example today because I think she does a lot of things really well. So let me share my screen. Here we go. I'll just share the whole window. Oh, okay, that's a lot. Okay, so Eden May. And I'll say as well, we have, in those examples, I'm trying to find one that has a bit more model shot, a bit more someone actually on camera. But I know some of you are going to think, I want to do that. I'm not ready yet. I'd still encourage you to do that because it's going to build more. It's just better if you have actual people in your photos or yourself as well, than no human beings at all in your feed. But I also picked another example where we do not see a face and we do not see a person, so that you can see how to do this strategy differently if you're not ready to be on camera. This is someone that's pretty comfortable on camera. So that's the brand we're going to look at. And so the first thing, and you'll see my notes here from time to time, is the bucket 1, build 1. So I'm just going to, should I make this a little bit bigger? Can we? Yes. Okay, that's much better. And then there is obviously a song. It doesn't really matter. It's just an audio. There's no voiceover. It's just music. And so basically the reel starts, I'll just reload so we can see the first screen, with someone that says, have you considered selling your designs in polyester? And then she says, no, I only use natural fabrics. This is pure silk. It costs us more, but it costs the planet less. Why this is good for the build bucket is because this is what I consider rallying content. It's something that's going to rally people behind the cause of, I don't want to use polyester fabric or things that aren't natural, that aren't going to biodegrade. Basically I want to, I'm for slower fashion and more responsible, sustainable fashion. This is going to draw those people in because of the message. But on top of that, because of the videos that she's kind of cutting and editing behind that message, we're also seeing the products. So I'm also actually getting to see the design and the scarves that she makes. So it's a beautiful way of doing the 2 things, of kind of saying, hey, this is what we stand for. And if you stand with that too, you'll probably like my brand. And also I'm seeing the design. If I like the design and I agree with what's written on the screen, I'm definitely going to at least like, if not go straight to her actual profile, probably scroll a bit, probably end up following her from there because it might be my cup of tea. So that's a really beautiful example of something that would work really well for bucket 1. And I mean, 70,000 likes, like, yes, look at the engagement on this thing. And yes, she has more followers. She doesn't have 100 followers, but she might not have had that many followers. She's grown really fast. I think she started a business 6 months or so ago. You just earned a follow. Perfect example. Love this. Do you sell wholesale? That's someone who didn't follow her. That post got showed to them because the algorithm were like, this is engaging. And then it actually earned her a follow. Also this, you might not have that in your business, but this can be a little bit, I don't know how personally, because I also prefer non-wasteful stuff. Not that I'm perfect on that front whatsoever, But there was apparently a big debate in the comment section that triggers the algorithm even more in saying this post is good and it's getting a lot of engagement. Let's show it to more people. So that kind of content is really great for that. Let me check. If you guys have any question, if it gives you any ideas as to how can I apply this to my business, or you have an idea and you're like, would that work then for me? Don't be afraid of kind of dropping that in the comments as well, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to, so I don't know if I want to do by bucket or by, yeah, let's do by bucket. So I'll show you guys brand 2 that we're looking at today. Brand 2 is called Shirley's Co. And it's basically jewelry, like fairy jewelry. Maybe I'm, oh no, yeah, packaging fairy handmade jewelry. So it is handmade, but whether you sell handmade or not, like those, you know, you could be selling print on demand things, doesn't matter. Those reels are still really good examples. So you can see here, we don't see anyone, we just see some hands. There's no face. So for those of you guys who are like, I don't want to be on camera, that's an option too. Obviously, in this case, it's mostly rings, so that's going to work well for that. If you were to sell earrings, it might be a little harder, but we could still get it done with just kind of a cut where we can see half the face or the side of the face or something like that. So for that one, for bucket 1, so in terms of building an audience, this is an excellent post. And we have here the call, not the call to action, sorry, the hook is point of view, POV, you're obsessed with fairy jewelry and something and celestial accessories. And so that's basically calling out your audience and saying, is that you? Do you like fairy necklaces? Do you like fairy rings? Do you like fairy jewelry? Do you like celestial accessories? Instant yes or no. For me personally, not my style. I just would scroll past. Great. That's what we want. I wouldn't engage. It wouldn't draw me in because that's just not for me. Fairly likely as well that Instagram wouldn't even show it to me because they know I haven't engaged with this kind of content in the past. But if it is you and if it is your style and you find that, well, I do find that beautiful actually. It's just not my style, but it is absolutely beautiful. Those products are really pretty. If it is something that you would wear and buy, you're going to engage, you're going to like, you're going to maybe share with a friend that has a similar aesthetic. You might save to come back later, and you might go straight to the Shirley's Co username here to kind of actually go and see what else is on that page. So that works really well. It's a very simple reel to do because basically all we have is a first slide with a text that says POV, and then you're calling out your audience. You're obsessed with witchy jewelry and da-da-da. You're obsessed with sustainable slow fashion and silky scarves. You're like, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up as I think live, which is not necessarily the best copy, but you, in a sentence, are calling out to who your people are. Point of view, I'm thinking Vesper, for example, for you could be something along the lines of, you're driven, ambitious woman with a spiritual side, or with, again, we would find a better hook than that, but something like that. And then basically in the, oops, sorry, I'm on my notes. In the background, we just have very simple videos. You can see this video is just like I'm holding the thing and I'm recording it. It's just turning. Basically, it just helps in showing a bunch of different products that showcase the aesthetic very quickly of what the brand is about. So that's a really good build bucket as well. Build bucket post, I should say. Okay, so now let's go to bucket 2, and I've got a few here, I think. Yes, I went a little bit overboard. So for Ed and May, we have one here that's actually to get people on the email list, but I have some feedback here to share as well. I would improve that post slightly. But basically, we have a new collection, so Summer 2 lands today to my mailing list subscribers. So already it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not on the list, so how do I get on the list? Because I want to know about the drop. And then obviously, oh God, sorry guys. If you've ever worked with me, I just do that with my mouse, I don't know, a million times an hour. It's actually embarrassing. I'll just keep zooming in with my mouth. Anyway, so that's the basically just images of the products. Doesn't need to be a model. Just like make that work for your own products. But we're just kind of seeing what's about to be dropped. And then the caption is very much about if you want first dips and you want early access, and she does sell out of stuff fairly quickly as well, you got to be on the list. The one thing I would say here is that the call to action is pretty weak. So I'd improve that with probably a ManyChat automation, or at least a link in bio. So join the list, link in bio, to be the first to know, like, how do I get on the list is the question that I'm kind of left with here. So I would improve that in the caption. Could also have a light text overlay on the image for people who are not going to read the caption, at least on the first slide. Summer 2 drops tonight to mailing list subscribers or something like that, so that then I'm like, okay, how do I get on the list? And then the caption should really help me get on the list a little bit more easily than it does here. But that's a good convert to an email subscriber post in your convert bucket too. So you could do link in bio. You could also use ManyChat, comment summer, and I'll send you the link to hop on the email list. And then when people comment summer, ManyChat, the software, automatically sends them a DM with a link to join the list. If you don't want to use ManyChat, you can also do it and then manually message people. I like to use ManyChat because it automates it, and no matter what time people are commenting, they immediately get it in basically the heat of, that in that moment, they want to jump on the email list. And so they get the link directly and they jump on it. When you wake up maybe 16 hours later because of time zones difference, and you finally get to your phone and you finally send the link manually, maybe they're just kind of, they're gone past that feeling of wanting to jump on the list. So that's why I love to use ManyChat, because it just is automated and it goes fast. And also everything that's automated, it saves you time and it's much more easy. Like, it's just easier to scale, and you can start on a free plan on ManyChat as well. So that's how I improve the caption. But I wanted to show you an example, of posts that convert into email subscribers and not just necessarily sales. You could also have a post like this that's not necessarily about a summer, because you might not have, collections dropping every couple of weeks. Like, at least I hope not. That's too much, right? And so you can still get people to join your list by simply actually making a similar carousel, but instead of like lens to mailing list subscriber, it's existing products, and it's get 10% off your first order as the call to action, or whatever your actual welcome discount or lead magnet is. Okay, let me go just in the chat real quick. I'll just remove this for a sec, because this was giving me some kind of dizziness there. Oh yeah, I definitely go and follow these brands, because they're good and they do content really well. And I think it's really important to follow basically stores from other niches, or from your own niche, but from other niches, and kind of look at what they're doing. It feels less overwhelming than following your competitors, because that no one likes to do that. And also will give you some ideas that you can kind of reuse in your own niche. Is it annoying, redundant to always mention the link in bio? It's not really, because it's kind of like the only thing you can do on Instagram anyway. But I will say it is aging a little bit, and everyone has moved on to ManyChat. As a user, you'll probably notice as well, Jessie, and hi Jessie, by the way, you'll probably notice that a lot of the time the call to action now is comment keyword, and then there's an automation starting. By the way, guys, you guys inside of the Launchpad, there's some modules that I'm working on at the moment, and etc. But also I'm planning on releasing something about ManyChat and some templates, so that you can have ManyChat templates when you go into the organic module course. So you'll get access to that as soon as it's done. But yeah, ManyChat is really where it's at. The comment keyword is basically the favorite call to action. It's also really good because it creates more engagement on the post itself, because people have to actually comment. So yeah, comment summer, comment stripes, comment 10%, comment whatever, and then that triggers the automation. Is kind of what people are getting more used to now. And then it feels like the call to action is different every time, because you can pick a different keywords based on what you want the automation to be or what the message is. And then it's Jess said it's less. Oh, we've got Jessie and then Jessica. So Jessica said, I think it's that it's less work for them, less clicking. They can just comment to get the link immediately. Maybe it feels nice to have a personal response. Yeah, I mean, personally, I love that as an end user as well. Hate going to the profile, going to the link in bio, wondering which one it is that I need to click because often there's too many there. For you, it means you have to change it all the time. Like you can have several links now, but still, like it's just so many more steps in thinking versus commenting summer and then I just have a DM and I can just actually click the link in the DM. I don't have to, and it just opens. So yeah, many chats, definitely great. And you guys in the Ecom Launchpad, I'm going to be working on an extra bonus module for that with some ManyChat templates that you kind of can install in your account. Because you can use ManyChat for sending a link to a sign-up page for the newsletter, but you can also use ManyChat to send people to browse category and have like a flow that basically shows them the different category and then drive them to pick a product that they want to go onto your website. Like there's so much that you can do. It's actually really fun. It's not that hard. And I'll template all of that for you too. Okay. Moving to, I need to add back this effect. Moving to the bucket to, so I have another one from this brand. But this one, apologies for the bell, that's just my toggle time tracking going on. Okay, this one is, what did I write as notes here? Oh yeah, this is for actual sales. So to convert people into purchasing and not just joining the newsletter. I'm just going to reload so I can see the hook. Okay, yeah, so someone commented, and don't we just love those comments? Why is one scarf $90 or something like that? And then she took that, she kindly hid the face and name of this person. I don't know if I would have had the same kindness in me, but anyway, she sharing that comment and then she's replying to it in a way that basically is selling the products. So this is a post that's basically objection handling. We don't really want to have to do an objection handling on price out of nowhere because you shouldn't need to. Your people are going to see your price. Either they can afford it or they can't. It's not personal. They can move on if it's not for them. But in her case, because someone commented, she kind of pulled that and actually just replied to it. I love those. Anytime someone comments something that you think is a little ridiculous and you can kind of turn around to actually show why your products are amazing, absolutely do it. It's really great marketing. So in her case, it's, all my designs made by hand, made in very limited quantities, printed on beautiful silk, etc. So it's kind of like the main key points of our products and why people should buy. And there's a little bit of rallying content behind that as well, because she's like, this is not Shane. I'm not Timu. I'm not Shane. This is like proper handmade stuff. So that's a really good one. If you don't have, maybe right now you're like, Deb, I don't have the comments, and the one never commented that on my post. You don't need to start the hook with that. And you can just have a question that people are asking themselves in kind of like any kind of objection that you can think they have before buying. Will silk, I'm making stuff up, but will the scarf shrink over time or distort or whatever? I don't know. Maybe people are wondering about that. You could have that question there, and then similar kind of slides or different video cuts with the points of like, no, we use XYZ material, which is great because X, Z, and B. X, Z, and B. What? I know my alphabet, A, B, and C. And you just kind of go through the reason why this objection. You're basically handling the objection and overcoming that point. So that's a good example as well. Objection handling. Like, will my earring become blue? I don't know. Will my ring turn blue? No, because we use XYZ material, and then in the background you're showing the other products. I'm talking about jewelry a lot because I know that you guys are live. There's a lot of jewelry brands here. Yes, turning negative comment into selling points is the best. I love it. Actually, I'll try and make a note before the end of this. Where's my pen? It's over here. There's one I'll show you if I can find it before the end of the call. Okay, so moving on to brand 2 examples for the convert bucket. So over here, we have a little dish, jewelry dish, bowl, whatever we want to call this. And then we're mixing in the pearls that make the product. And then we can see the product made and various product made with those same kind of ingredients, aka the actual beads and pearls and things. So this is doing a couple of things. First, it's focusing on a specific type. So like she could have done that with a turquoise or a green. Like she has different colors, as you all do probably in your products. She's picked one, and then she is basically showing what goes into the products, but we're not see what we're not seeing, and this is very important for you guys making handmade products. We're not seeing her make it. I'm not against from time to time sharing some behind the scene of like you making the products to show the genuine craft that goes into it. But the moment you start doing that too much, you're going to start attracting people who make handmade products and sell handmade products instead of attracting people who want to buy your handmade products. So that's a very, very important thing to remember. Do not share too much of the how I make my products behind the scene content. That's not as interesting to your ideal customer as you might think it is. That's interesting to other makers. From time to time, yes, because there is an opportunity to see the craftsmanship and the materials and all of that. But this does that without showing you her actually, doing the wire and all of that. Like we can see the materials and then poof, we just cut to the product. And you can do that with your products as well. You'd see as well, if you go onto her page, definitely follow her as well, because, let me zoom back out of it. Lots of great reels, and you can't see it on the computer, but on your phone, you should be able to see the views on the reels, and go to the one that work well. And you'll notice, which is what you should do as well, when one thing works well, she doesn't go, oh, how do I make something completely different? She basically redoes. That sounds weird. She does a reel again that's basically the same, so for example, this bead soup, I bet you it's the same. There we go. So this time it's going to be pink, green. We're doing it for one specific product this time. We can see all the materials and the things that go into it. And then I bet you we're going to cut to the product at the end of either on her or on some kind of model or mannequin. It's hooking me in because I want to see that, like, I'm invested. I've seen 1, 2 beads. By the time I'm like 3 beads in, I'm like, well, now I really have to see like what the surprise is at the end, what the end result is. And so I'm going to watch it to the end because of that. And then it's a beautiful way of showing the what comes into the product and the product itself. So she does that one quite a bit, where she'll just do it with different bead soup. She calls it bead soup. She's done it with that one. So these clearly work well for her. Another one she has done here. Is this one? Oh yeah, the tool versus the creation. This is good again for you guys selling handmade products. Again, we are not showing that she's not there making the product in front of you. That's boring to your end customer. She's doing just enough to show you she makes it herself, which is impressive. But then she just goes into product, which is what people buy, not how it was made, as much as as much as the fact that it's handmade comes into perceived value and pricing and all of that. People don't buy the step-by-step. That's not what they want to see on their feet. They want to see the aesthetic. They want to see the necklaces that they can buy. They want to see the beautiful hand with the ring on it. So the tools is really just the hook. Like it's like it lasts 2 seconds, and I'm just seeing some, whatever these are called, I don't know the name in English, pens en français. And then I'm just seeing the products. And again, it's just really simple movement of the hand. This is not even a real model. It's just a mannequin. I'm still getting a sense for what the product is, and I'm getting the aesthetic. So that's really good for that. A mini chat call to action would be great there to send people to browse. Comment, and then a keyword to browse our collections. And then we're starting a mini chat flow that's going to actually show them the different collections that you have and get them to click through to the right collection that they want to see on their products. Or it might be a flow that starts your bestseller. Hey, thanks so much for your interest. Here are bestsellers. Which one would you like to check out? Image, image, image. They click inside of Instagram. Boom, they're taken to the product page of that specific product. Lots of great things you can do with ManyChat here for your convert to content. So that one I had said good for handmade. I'm reading my own notes. I can't remember. I've done that yesterday and I still can't remember it. Anyway. Oh, and that's the same. Is it? Did I pick twice the same example? Yes, I did. Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah, I don't know what I meant here. Anyway, I'll move on to bucket 3. Let me go back first on the comment section a little bit. Love this way of showing the materials then to the products. Yes, it's super clever. It shows what goes into it without doing the whole attracting other makers or, the attracting crafters and people who want to learn to do what you're doing, because you're not sitting there at your bench showing exactly how to do it, but you're still showing that it was handmade and the quality of the things that go in it. So yeah, really good for that. Let me show you. Oh, I need to share again. Okay, last one is bucket 3. So that's the nurture bucket. So for brand 1, I'll just zoom in again a bit more. We have here a bit of a behind the scenes. So what people see versus what they don't see. So it's kind of like the vulnerable angle. And this might work for some of your brands. For others, you might be like, I don't actually want to share that much. Like she has, the reason I picked her and then the other brand is because Shirley's Co is because this one is a bit more of a personal brand. She's very much the face of the brand. She's on that balance between it's a business, but it's also a personal brand. We can see her a lot. She's very, not just in the images, but she shares the behind the scene a bit more. So it's kind of like a crossover with a personal brand versus Shirley's Co is very much product. We're not seeing her. We don't really care. She doesn't really want to have that much of a personal brand, and it's much more about the product and the company itself. So that's why I kind of wanted to show you those two different vibes, basically. So this might work for some of you, less for others, but good example for those of you who are willing to share a little bit the behind the scene. Again, nurture bucket 3 is not the one you're going to use the most often. Like in your ratio, convert bucket is always going to be what you post the most. If you need to build your audience, bucket 1 as well. Bucket 3 comes last, just from time to time to build that community and trust. But it's not like you're going to be posting every few days something to nurture necessarily, right? So what people see versus what they don't see. And then here, they see sellout success, the confidence to put myself out there. They see the thousands of followers. They don't see all the evenings spent packaging orders, the icky embarrassment of taking pictures in public, the failed designs that never got finished, the ones that don't sell as well when they are made, the many, many outtakes. They don't see that I do this all by myself. So it's a bit of a vulnerable post that shows a little bit of behind the scene of the business. It helps you connect to this human being that's behind the business. For her audience, it's really important as well, because these are people who care about slow fashion, sustainability, and probably, I'm just going to, make a bit of a generalization here, but probably also care about human connection, supporting small businesses, and all in all, just putting their money where their values and their heart is at, which means that I prefer support her than buying a scarf from another big store. Not even Shane, but, another big designer brand or something like that. So, that works well for that because it's a bit vulnerable, but it also shows the behind the scene of the business. It's not entrepreneurial, like it's not just for entrepreneurs. It's not about to say like, it's so hard and I have to do marketing and I don't want to do marketing. Like, no, like your end customers, they don't need to know that much about, how much you hate coming up with captions on Instagram, right? But this helps, and it also still shows the product a little bit. Pretty still a clever way of showing this is my art. Oops, there we go. I did it again. This is my art. This is my art on an actual silk scarf. So that's example 1 here. And then for brand 2, bucket 3, we've got a pack and order. So very simple. Phone is on a stand. I can't remember how to speak English right now. Phone is on basically a, yeah, the word is not coming to me. It's coming in French. It's not coming in English. My family is visiting at the moment, so my brain is doing a lot more French than usual, and I'm finding it really hard to go between both. Anyway, tripod. Oh God, thank you. It came. It's actually the same word as in French. Tripod. Anyway, so phone is there. We're packing an order, and then very important. That's what's smart. Product. Like I want to see the product more than I want to see the box. So the cuts are important because product actually being worn, like the end result is someone's actually wearing that. I want to see the product a lot in those videos, not just all the, that first part, for example, is good, but on its own wouldn't do much because I wouldn't see the product. So that video becomes really smart and clever and important when we add those layers of like actually images or videos of the actual product. And if you don't have videos, you can just do that with photos as well. Photo of this, photo of that, and then product. So we can see again, it helps us connect with, this is a small brand, this is a real person doing this, this is not like coming from, a factory somewhere, it's really handmade. It makes it builds rapport and trust, basically. All right, I will link this in the chat for you guys, so you can find them on Instagram. I don't know if this is going to be clickable, but at least you can copy paste from my comments. Yeah, so does a reel with still photos work the same in algorithm terms as with clipped videos? Yes and no. So like you could have a reel with still photos going chack, 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 work better than one with clip videos, or vice versa. It's less like, basically, yes, Instagram's going to treat them the same, but people are going to react differently. And based on that, the algorithm's going to favor one more than the other. But it's not going to be about whether it's image, or video. It's about how engaging it is. You can have some clip video that are kind of like blurry and making me feel dizzy, or it's not clear what you're doing with them, and I'm just not hooked. And you can have a reel with just still photos that's going to really keep me engaged because I'm seeing products I like, and the rhythm is fun, and it matches the music, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, if you hate taking videos, just definitely don't have to do that, Jess. But also remember, like, I'm just going to go back. Sorry, just back on screen for a sec. Look at what Shirley does for a lot of us. And I know you don't sell jewelry, so it's a bit different for you, but when she's doing something like that, where she's basically just kind of like moving her fingers and her wrist a bit, you can literally just do that with a tripod again, and you have your hands and you're kind of like mixing cards or picking a card, and you can sit. Is it boring? Yes. Is it going to help you create content more easily? Yes. Do I recommend you do it? Yes. You can just sit for like, take 2 hours, and for the first 30 minutes, list down a bunch of shots that you can, the shots that you can take, like me flipping card, me mixing card, me spreading card on table, me picking card from a deck, me putting deck in box, me putting, I just don't know, just kind of, as soon as you start writing them, the more ideas will come. For anyone wondering, Jessica sells tarot cards and other things, but I'm just thinking about the cards right now. So you have a kind of a list, and then after that, you just basically set your tripod and you just do those kind of like B-roll or shots where you're not on camera and they don't have music, because you'll just put music on top of it in Instagram. Add them all to your phone, and then you have a folder with a bunch of things that you can go to when you're creating reels. So super helpful to have those. I'm not saying like, is it easier to use images? Sure. And so feel free to do that if you need to as well, but you can do video without making it such a big deal. Like this is a video taken on the phone, and this is the aesthetic that Instagram loves at the moment. And when I say Instagram, us customers of Instagram, not the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't care. But the aesthetic that people prefer at the moment is actually stuff that looks authentic and genuine and shot with your phone, rather than super set and staged stuff. It's not really what works the best at the moment, which is great for us, right? Because it's just easier to do. Okay, let me go back on the screen. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So I hope that this was a fun and be helpful in understanding how each piece of content should either help you build your audience, convert into an email subscriber or a sale, or nurture. And then remember the mini chat tip for the convert bucket. And then obviously all the examples you can kind of see and kind of replicate for yourself. These are good accounts to follow. I want to do more videos like this where I kind of break down reels and look at other profiles. I think they're fun. I think it's like an easy thing for you to kind of come and watch and take what you want, leave the rest, but it will give you ideas and it will show you what works and what doesn't on Instagram these days. So if you love those, let me know and I'll make sure that I do kind of like a series and basically from time to time, because I'm constantly just kind of saving content and on Instagram doing research. So yeah, just happy to do more of those if you guys want me to. Thanks, Sarah. I'm actually going on a holiday with my family tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. So I have a big day of getting ready today, but other than that, tomorrow will be good and start of like a nice family trip. You're welcome, Cindy. Thanks, Jessie. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Vesper. Thank you, everybody. So good to see you. And yeah, again, I'm really terrible at this. I should say, if you need help with growing your e-commerce sales, just check out Tiziko, the Launchpad. This is the program I was mentioning before, that we do cover organic marketing in it, but we cover much more than that, from your messaging in your brand to your website, creating or optimizing if you already have one for more sales, higher conversion rate, or more sales, meaning higher conversion rate and higher average order value. And we then go into email marketing, organic strategy on social media, as well as paid ads. So have a look here. If you have any question, you can also always reach out to me. I will right here, the email, and put that on screen. Or also on my DM at Tizitco, which is my Instagram. And I won't be replying next week because I'll be on holiday. But other than that, always happy to answer any question that you have and to see if it would be a good fit to work together. And that's it. That's my pitch. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I will. Oh, thanks, Jess. Jess is saying, do the Launchpad. It is amazing. Thank you so much, Jessica. And yeah, I should say as well, because a lot of you guys are actually in the Launchpad in the comments right now. I love working with you guys. I'm so happy that I get to work with people like you. Like, I genuinely mean this. I know we were on the coaching call actually just before this live. We just hopped off the coaching call and kind of came into this one. And I'm just like, I feel like I've just had the best 2 hours of work, just like happily hanging out with people I enjoy working with. So thank you so much. You make my work very enjoyable. All right, guys. Bye. I will see you soon.